My topic is the importance of effective classroom management in high school. Introduction. Classroom management is what often sets teachers up for a successful year of teaching or a miserable year of teaching students. Effective classroom management isn't always the same for every teacher as different students make up their classroom. Good classroom management is also as beneficial for teachers as it is for the students that they teach. This can help teachers establish clear expectations, stop discipline problems from occurring, and create a supportive classroom where conversations can be had. Research questions that I had were: what are key strategies and techniques for effective classroom management? How does classroom management impact student achievement? How do student-teacher relationships affect classroom management? And what are some challenges teachers face today when implementing classroom management in high school? Methods. I reviewed a total of 14 peer-reviewed articles in preparation for this paper. The articles that I reviewed for this paper helped me answer the research questions that I had originally asked and gave me insight to other aspects of classroom management. Key strategies. One technique that I have found very useful for effective classroom management can be done before the students even enter the classroom. This is arranging the classroom layout so that it optimizes learning and minimizes distractions. Having control over where students sit by having a seating chart ahead of time also helps with minimizing the time that students are off task. Another technique is to establish clear expectations with students from the beginning of meeting them so that there is no confusion. This is usually done at the beginning of the year, like the first day of classes. Many teachers do the usual of having a class contract that they make with the students and everyone has to sign. For my high school students, I make a PowerPoint ahead of time that states all of the classroom rules and then give them a pre-made syllabus that they have to sign and that their parents have to sign. A third technique is to build positive relationships with students. When teachers take the time to actually develop good relationships with their students, they create an atmosphere full of mutual respect and trust. Mutual respect goes a long way for a student because they want to behave well in your class and might even encourage their fellow classmates to behave. A last technique is to use consistent discipline in the classroom. There has to be some sort of discipline in the classroom and it has to be consistent. If a student sees that they are punished for doing something but not another student, then they will not take anything you say seriously. It is important to be fair to all students when applying the consequences for their behavior. Impact. Good teaching requires the attention of all students as well as the participation in class. There needs to be a balance when noticing good behavior and bad behavior to manage in the classroom. All students deserve the chance to have a great learning environment so that they are able to achieve what their potential can reach. Student-teacher relationships. Student-teacher relationships have a big impact on how well students perform. This is why it is important to talk about these relationships when talking about effective classroom management. The bigger the school, the more important that student-teacher relationships are because students often don't feel seen. This is even more important in a high school setting as students often feel hurt when they are ignored. Challenges that teachers face. Although teachers receive lessons on classroom management during professional developments, there are no real guidelines or preparations when it comes to the actual classroom. The thing about student behavior is that you could have amazing students, but you can never account for when they are going to have a bad day and act unlike themselves. Conclusion. For teaching to be effective, there needs to be a proper balance between academic instruction and classroom management. Without effective classroom management, then no instruction can take place. It can be difficult implementing effective classroom management, but it makes it worth it when the students do their best work in classes and the teachers aren't disrupted by bad behaviors. My takeaway: this research project will definitely have an impact on how I navigate having effective classroom management in my own classroom. I am someone who likes to plan ahead, and this seems like the best way to handle classroom management. This research has shown me that there are ways to help my students while also helping myself.